Hey, I'm Lance Calvert. Welcome to the Retail Fix It podcast. Retail Fix It is a nationwide facility maintenance management company. Facility owners, we can handle all trades anywhere in the country. Every one of your locations is all centralized with Retail Fix It as one single partner for your maintenance and repair needs. Your repairs in all trades, your PM programs, HVAC cleaning, all centralized. Your projects, remodels, rollouts, expansions, all of it under one roof, centralized with a real partner that's looking after you and fighting hard to get these jobs done with timeliness, cost, quality, and communication. We handle it with a lot of technology that keeps our team out of transactional back and forth, so we don't have to have a huge team to handle a huge amount of jobs. Lowering the cost, moved up into compliance and making sure the quality and stuff is happening because we have the time to do so, because the transactional stuff is handled with a smooth system that we've spent years and years fine-tuning and developing that is finally yielding results, that all that is passed on to you through streamlining. And so we're really a technology company because Retail Fix It has been working for 10 plus years nonstop with an in-house software development team, creating processes, the science of facility management meeting the science of software development in a way that truly has studied and streamlined all of those processes to where the transactional stuff is automatic and we don't have to pay people to do that. The vendors are enjoying that because we understand that these service providers have a job to do if they never had to click the first button on their cell phone to check in or accept a job or upload a picture, etc., upload an invoice, all these different things. They are enjoying Retail Fix It system because we are literally obsessed with ease of use for the service providers, because that is time and money that they will charge us, which we'll have to charge you if we don't do that and accomplish that for them. So I'm giving away the trade secrets here, but that's what this podcast is about, is just exposure and community and really transforming the industry. But Retail Fix It is streamlining to the point to where ease of use for the guy out there doing the job becomes such a reality that we get the best vendors because they want to work for us. There's people in this company, including myself, that were in the field and we were techs and vendors, and that's kind of why we know this stuff. There's only so many service providers in a town, and there's only so many service providers that are quality in a town. And there's only so many of those quality service providers that want to work in national facility maintenance, are really outfitted for national facility or for facility maintenance to do repair service work. If you look at it, you've got a few different national companies that, maybe in some sense, they're all kind of vetting from the same pool of service providers. You have to be the best company for them to work for. Like, you don't have to be, but if you want to win, you better be the best company for them to work for. And there's bad ones. We've got to hire the good ones, the great ones, and the ones that are grateful and the ones with a great attitude. But once you find those, you want to make their life as easy as possible, because that's what partnership's about. If they win, we win, because we're delivering that stuff upstream to our customers, and they had the right communication, the right data sent to them to be able to comply with whatever the repair need is, and maybe some peripherals as far as like, call this number before you to talk to this guy or whatever, right? Before you start the repair because he knows about it, or just logistics. So getting involved and staying involved with the service provider experience is something we've done for over 20 years, but we've spent over 10 years literally with an in-house software development team. I'm one of the main designers on the team for 10 years plus, and I work with my team to glean from what's really happening in the field, what's really happening as an account manager behind a desk, and all those parties delivering data to where we take those to the software teams, design and implement. And this has been going on for years and years and years. And so the ease of use in the customer portal for our clients, they love that they can put a work order in under a minute. On the dashboard they log into, they can see all their open tickets. They don't have to go find them somewhere in the system. And there's a comparison view of the state of every job. But even if they never have to log into the system, the right people in your retail corporation or whatever, restaurant chain or whatever our customer is, the right people are getting the right proactive emails sent to your inbox of the state of your projects too. And just these little bitty repairs too, like jobs, you're getting an ETA date set and time, whether you want that to your location manager and your regional manager and corporate, or just one of those three people in your organization. All that workflow comes to you proactively, so you don't have to live in the portal. Plus, monthly touch points. I mean, that has revolutionized things. We do it with every customer. We get on the phone with them monthly. Scully is my quality control client retention sort of manager, and he enjoys those. He gets on with them. There is always information passed back and forth up from our team and back down to our team after those calls, and that keeps things going on that level too, on a monthly high-level view, to say, hey, how are we doing out there? How's it looking to you guys? What's the accounting department feel like? And then internally, our admin team is enjoying the technology and the ease of use of the stories coming to them. What I mean by stories coming to them is when the tech is accepting the job and setting the ETA and checking in and checking out, uploading their estimate properly and all those things, that stuff is fed in a streamlined way to the right department in our company, in the right dashboard, in the right way, to where our team is able to very effectively manage their time. And it's kind of a story being told to them at the right person, the right way, the right information. They've got interactive tools to auto-create customer estimates, customer invoices without having to type or do double work and these kind of things. So that was a big intro. But today, we're also going to get into a topic that's really cool, and I think any business owner and really anybody in life can identify with, but particularly in national facility maintenance. We're going to talk about the ideal contractor. This might turn into a two-part episode, but we want to talk about how do you profile the partners that you use to get these jobs done all over the country? How do we choose the right ones? How do we know who to use? What are we looking for in a service provider, contractor, partner for Retail Fix-It? How do we find them? How do we vet them? How do we keep that quality? How do we find the right contractor? The right contractor might not be the strongest in every area, but they're the strongest in enough areas to where it's worth figuring out the area that they're weak in. And that's kind of the secret thing we're going to talk about today. So first of all, there's a few different contractors. And so what I mean by contractors is, local electricians, local plumbers, local handyman guys, general contractors that do bigger projects for us, but asphalt, roofing, painters, glass repair, flooring, all these different types of contractors. But so what are we looking for? And what we've learned, we've been doing this for a long time. We'll start from the worst. The worst is that you've got other third-party companies that don't have customers because they can't keep customers. And so they try to creep into companies that do have customers and get their jobs and then sub them out again. Another third-party company trying to become a company into a national facility maintenance company, trying to get your work and then subcontract it to another person again and creating a fourth-party situation. That's a nightmare. So you have to make sure that whoever you're using as a national facility management provider, like Retail Fix-It, has a process in place to make sure there's not any other third-party companies working for them. That's the first and foremost thing you want to avoid as a customer of major retailer, major dental chain, major medical chain, or whoever that has multi-locations across the country that needs our services. Number two, maintenance companies. I'm not saying those are bad. There's maintenance companies and they've got maintenance in the name. There's maintenance companies that turn a lot of work orders and they have, they may be subbing out themselves some, and they've got techs all over a region or whatever. It's not so much as trade specific, right? It's not so much a guy that's really got a handle on things. They're sort of like the other third-party company, but they're a little more regional or a statewide or something like that. So look, there's some of those that are just fantastic. So I don't want to group think those guys or anybody really, because you can't really get into group think and be completely fair. So that's the third part we'll talk about, is you've got these local trade-specific companies all around town, kind of like the guys you hire to come over to fix something at your house that's an electrician or a plumber, except they're more into commercial work, like the service work that we do. Some really big ones do good, some middle-sized ones do good, and some of the really small ones do good. So the strengths they have is they're trade specific. They're sort of journeymen. I mean, you send an electrical job to an electrical company, he's not going to be fumbling and trying to figure out what he's doing. He's going to get right to it. He's going to target the problem. If it's a bigger electrical issue, it doesn't matter because he's an electrician and they typically have. But you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and fast track and move right into the ideal service provider for Retail Fix-It for your company as a customer of ours. And that is the small, you could call him the one man in a truck electrical company or plumbing company. And here's why. These guys, they started their company, with their own two hands. They're obsessed with high quality and they just won't hire a bunch of people to do the job for them. They don't hire a bunch of plumbers to work for them because they're obsessed with it getting done right. They might hire one or two and see how they do and keep them if they do great. But if they don't do well, then they'll just do it themselves. And these guys are amazing for several reasons. Number one, the one man in a truck style electrician and plumber, handyman, even the contractors that do projects, the guy that owns the company is the guy that's going to the site. Or, he can be a 2 or 3 or 5 man company or a little more than that. But the smaller they are, where the owner has still got his hands in these jobs, is the ideal service provider on so many levels. He's reading the work order. He understands that nothing's going to go right on its own. He's got years of experience under him. He's going to the store himself. So he's cutting out all of that apprenticeship process of having technicians that he's hiring and dealing with employee stuff. We're communicating with the guy that's going to be calling us from the store, not some 2 layers between, him and his secretary and then the location technician. When you've got the one man in a truck guy and he's the one on site and he's calling you for additional approval on a job, he's taking pictures and sending them to you real time. He's telling you articulately what's happening at the service location. All these factors just come in to having the one man in a truck guy, whether it's any trade, doesn't matter what the trade is the ideal contractor for Retail Fix-It. And it's the backbone of our vendor pool that we're farming them up. Well, I live in Metro Atlanta, and I kind of use the Atlanta Braves baseball team as an analogy. They don't have the budget of the Dodgers or the New York Mets, right? So they farm these guys up. So they know how to find good talent and they work with them and they win World Series and stuff. So, and it's a great approach. It's a grassroots approach, and it's an approach that can live a long time. And it's not a paper champion. It's not just built on some sort of money focus or money engine that's going to cost my customers a bunch. Well, here's the problem. They don't like using systems. They don't like using the cell phone and the portal and all this stuff we need them to use. It's just a fact. They don't work with those types of demographics. They don't want to mess with your system. I'm just going to email you the work order, or I'm going to email you the invoice, and I don't want to use your system, or I don't want to upload a note in there. I just want to call you. That's a problem for us because automation matters a lot. We have solved it and made it the easiest system in the world for service providers to work for, way more than our competitors. We're way more approachable. Our system is better. It's smoother. It's built to accommodate the service provider, not to put load heavy on him. Look, we get all the compliance we need. We have to have certain things to verify and compliance and to automate that. But ease of use is critical for lowered costs for our customers. So how do we solve that? You can train them on that. Take the time and be patient with them. And, maybe for the first few weeks, ease them into it. But once you get them going and show them how easy our system is, then they love it. And now you've got the ideal contractor. Now we have the power play to be the best national facility management company in the industry for our customers. That's some really good behind the scenes data. It might sound simple, but it's maybe 25 plus years worth of stuff leading up to it. And it's been amazing kind of building those relationships with the grassroots guys, and working with them to get them into system use and those kind of things. We're going to talk more on the next episode about how to keep those guys, how to empower those guys, and how to move into other compliance areas that just continue to pour gasoline on this high quality, revolutionary new beginnings that we're bringing into national facility management. That's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Retail Fix It podcast. Listen, decision makers, customers, multi-location retailers, restaurant chains, dental, medical chains, all multi-location commercial facility owners, vendors, service providers, heck, competitors. Like and share and subscribe, ring the bell, do something on one of these platforms. Get involved. We want to build community. We want to build conversation. And we want to see what we can do in the business realm of America to bring life back into it as restoration is coming for our whole country in ways that are just going to blow everybody's mind, which is much needed. It's very important. We got to save this country, and that's a different topic for a different day, but we love you guys. God bless you. Thank you for tuning into the Retail Fix It podcast, and we'll see you next time.